Hi everyone, I'm Hindumathi Palanisamy from the World Climate Research Program. I'm really sorry for not being able to present our work directly online. As most of you might already be aware, WCRP, we are conducting our Open Science Conference, which will be taking place in less than a week, and we are busy preparing for this. Today, I'm going to present very briefly about the World Climate Research Program, and this is a joint presentation from my colleagues and myself here at the Secretariat. So the message is very clear. The past few months, we have been facing, the Earth has been facing a lot of things that has not been unexpected over the past decades. For example, we have already reached the 1.5-degree threshold twice over the past 4 months. And as you may see from publications and reportings, news reportings, we have had records broken, but not in a very optimistic way. For example, ocean heat record has been broken the past months, and the global average sea and air temperatures have been spiking up even before the natural climate variability in El Nino has arrived. And we also have the lowest records in terms of the Antarctic sea ice melting, as well as heat waves, not only in terms of what we are facing on land, but also the marine heat waves occurring in different parts of the ocean. WCRP, the World Climate Research Program, has been working on several aspects of climate science for more than 40 years now. But in order to be able to address the recent changes, let's say, or to better understand climate science, a few years ago, we came up with a new strategic plan. So this strategic plan's purpose is mainly to coordinate and facilitate international climate research in order to develop and share the climate knowledge that we produce for the well-being of the society. So, in addition to the three scientific objectives of WCRP, with this new scientific strategic plan, we also brought about the fourth objective, which is on making sure that we bridge the climate science knowledge that is being advanced with the help of international community of experts, and make sure that it gets translated to the services or the right climate information that the society that is currently facing the impacts of climate change. As a part of this, we also brought about new changes in the structure of WCRP. So, as you all already know, WCRP is a program that is co-sponsored by WMO, the International Scientific Council, and the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of the UNESCO. So we have something called as the Joint Scientific Committee because it is co-sponsored by the three programs, three organizations. So these are experts, science experts in both physical science and social sciences. We have about 15 international experts in this Joint Scientific Committee that work on preparing the scientific needs or addressing the most pressing science gaps for the next decade. And we have the secretariat, the WCRP secretariat, that ensures that all these things are addressed in terms of the various lighthouse activities and the core projects. I will talk about the lighthouse activities in the next slide. So what you see here in yellow is the WCRP co-project, or what we call as the pillars of WCRP. So these are the permanent structures that work on various components of the Earth system. So we have CLIVAR working on the ocean atmospheric interactions, and GWEX, the global energy and water exchanges. The cryospheric aspects are under CLIC, the Climate and Cryosphere Co-project, and all processes and understanding of the processes related to different aspects of the atmosphere, so stratospheric and tropospheric processes as well, they come under the co-project SPARC. With the new strategic plan, we also have two new core projects. So the Earth system modeling and observations that bring together, everything that's related to the modeling aspects of the various components of the Earth system. So the ocean, atmosphere, hydrology, cryosphere, etc., and also the observational aspects. So, for example, the couple model intercomparison project CMIP that feeds into the IPCC reports, it's a part of this core project as well. We also have the regional information for society that works on addressing the fourth objective of WCRP. So, making sure that the science we produce through the various aspects reaches out to the community. All these things are done through fixed-term projects. We also organize conferences and workshops and regular evaluation or assessments of data sets when needed, or review or the update of assessments that have been done before. And we also focus a lot on the capacity building aspects, not only for the early career researchers, but also for the mid-career researchers from different regions, with a special focus on the Global South recently. So the community is quite large. We have more than 1,000 experts working on all panels and working groups of various of these core projects and ladder activities. And we have about 155 experts in the high-level steering groups of our activities. And as I mentioned, now we are trying to feed into a lot more of interactions with the early career scientists. So we have about 10% of early career scientists in our leadership groups so far. I mentioned before about the lighthouse activities. So in addition to the core projects, we also have lighthouse activities, which are short-term fixed timeline projects that work on most pressing topics, science topics, to more rapidly advance the major and new scientific approaches or technologies in order to meet the society's need for robust and actionable climate information. So we have 4 such lighthouse activities focusing on various aspects of the pressing needs. So the Safe Learning Climate, or the My Climate Risk, so which has several hubs, around 14 hubs all over the world, working on a bottoms-up approach of connecting with the regions or the local communities first to understand what their needs are in terms of addressing climate change, and raising it up to the experts to be able to see if such needs can be addressed efficiently. We also have the explaining and predicting Earth system change and the digital Earth, working on different aspects of modeling, kilometer scale modeling, and also, for example, the digital Earth is working very closely with the digital twin component of other institutions. Additionally, we have recently launched 2 new lighthouse houses, so which is called as one of those is called as the Global Precipitation Experiment. So this will work on supporting establishment of global and regional precipitation data sets, and also multi-model analysis at regional and scales, and will be collaborating with already existing regional projects such as the Asia Precipitation Experiment, the African Experiment, etc. And it will also begin the year of precipitation and the Water Decade Initiative soon. So this lighthouse activity will be launched very soon in Kigali next week. And the second new lighthouse activity is the research on climate intervention. So this is a very emergent and critical research topic that is, gaining popularity, attention internationally. And we realized that a lot of research and coordination is required in order to analyze the pros and cons of initiatives involving climate intervention, because there has been so far not much understanding on the short and the long-term effects of climate intervention. So this lighthouse activity will provide a platform for the climate intervention research to make sure that it is conducted transparently with engagement from scientists, both physical and social scientists around the world. So it will serve as a honest broker and respected community voice in the assessment of the risks proposed climate intervention approaches. So the core project within WCRP that is very relevant to SCOR would be CLIVAR, so whose mission is to understand the dynamics, interaction, and predictability of the climate system, with a special emphasis on the ocean atmospheric interactions. So we do have the CLIVAR organization with the scientific steering group and the project office based in China, and we have various core activities within CLIVAR focusing at both global and regional scale. So we have the Ocean Model Development Panel, the GSOP, the Global Synthesis and Observations Panel that works on validation of observations and ocean reanalysis products. There is also the Climate Dynamics Panel and the Monsoons Panel. So these are all operating at a global scale. In addition to this, as I mentioned, we have the regional panels for each region of the ocean, like the Atlantic, Pacific, Southern Ocean, Northern Ocean, and the Indian Ocean. All these things also very closely interact with research foci. These are short-term projects that address urgent and actionable climate research challenges, and with a lifetime of about 3 to 5 years. So recently in Feb 2023, CLIVAR began the new research foci on marine heat waves in the global ocean that will be working to achieve a better understanding of marine heat waves globally, which also include detection, surface and subsurface characteristics understanding, understanding the dynamics and the mechanisms of the marine heat waves. And this is working very closely with other partners such as the GCOS, Global Climate Observing System. So they do have a panel called OOPC, and we have strong connections with them, and also the Goose community. This research foci has been very actively conducting workshops and training schools. For example, there was one that took place recently in summer in Trieste with around 100 participants, including lecturers. And the other research foci, which began during COVID in 2021, is the one on tropical basin interactions. So this was started because CLIVAR experts understood that the ocean basins have very strong interactions. For example, the natural climate modes like INSO, IOD, etc. They are very closely related to each other. So there is a very strong need for understanding the climate modes with respect to the interactions between the basins and not in one particular basin. And so this research foci will also understand the observational needs for inter-basin comparison studies as well. And we are planning for some side events that will take place in the UN Ocean Decade Conference next year in April. So I mentioned initially that the Secretary could not attend the meeting virtually because we are preparing our Open Science Conference that is taking place next week in Rwanda, and will be addressing 3 main scientific themes. So, addressing various sessions working on the advances in climate research, co-produced climate services and solutions, and also climate change drivers and societal impacts. So I'm hoping we will have many experts from SCOR joining us on site in person or at least virtually. So this brings me to the end of this presentation. Thanks a lot for your attention, and I hope I will be able to participate in the next annual meeting, at least online and live. Thanks a lot.